So the New York Giants released their 53-man roster today, and there were some surprise cuts, and there were some surprise people that were on the list. So let's talk about it a little bit right here on New York Giants Full Access with your boy Big Pat Sports Talk. Let's get it. Welcome to New York Giants Full Access.
New York Giants.
All right, so this is New York Giants Full Access. Going to give you a reaction to the initial 53-man roster for the New York Giants, and it might be, a little disappointment from the fans here, man. As you can see, the initial 53-man roster is on here. There may be some trades, some things going on, but to go through each position, everybody knew there was going to be Jackson Dart, Russell Wilson, and Jameis Winston at the quarterback position. Some people being funny putting Jackson Dart over Russell Wilson, but that's cool. Um, maybe maybe you'll see Jackson Dart during the season, but Russell Wilson is the starter, and we all knew Tommy DeVito was going to get cut, so there's really no surprises there. Now we're going to get back to the running back position. You got Devin Blown Motor Singletary, Cam Scatterbo, and Tyrone Tracy Jr. Now the surprise is Turbo Miller did not make the initial roster, and I do believe Turbo Miller deserves a spot on this roster. I believe he's shown out the past two preseasons, and he's shown an element of speed at the running back position that we haven't had in a very long time. And I just think that he could be more productive than a Devin Singletary. I'm a little disappointed that Singletary made it and Turbo didn't make it. I thought they were going to keep 4 running backs, but they only kept 3. As you know, the running back that we drafted in the 5th round, I can't think of his name right now. That's the bad part. He got put on IR, so he's on IR to return. But I just don't understand why Motor, keeps making the roster over Turbo. And Turbo's the one that led us in receiving and rushing here in the preseason. And every time he touched the ball, something good happened. So I'm a little bit disappointed that Turbo Miller did not make this roster. And you guys let me know in the comments on how you feel about that. And let's talk about the receiver position. You got Bo Collins, undrafted free agent out of Notre Dame. He made the roster, which I believe he was. Then you got Jalen Hyatt, Malik Neighbors, Gunner made it, Wandale Robinson, and Darius Slayton. Now guys like Dalen Cambry, Montreal Washington, Juice Wells, I do believe a couple of those guys may be on the practice squad. I would rather see, somebody like Juice Wells make this roster than a Wandale Robinson or Jalen Hyatt. Our receiving depth and receiver position needs a makeover, man. Besides Malik Neighbors, Darius Slayton is pretty good at a number 2, but I don't like my slot receiver and Wandale Robinson. I'd rather have Gunnar Olszewski there. And I just think Jalen Hyatt, man, he's ran his course with this team, man. You have to let him get a fresh start. I don't see him, progressing on this roster, man. But those are your receivers: Bo Collins, Jalen Hyatt, Malik Neighbors, Gunnar Olszewski, Wandale Robinson, and Darius Slayton. I do believe we could get some. Malik Neighbors is going to do what he wants to do. He's going to get his. And I think Darius Slayton with some good quarterback play may surprise some people. but we'll see there. Now the thing here, we kept four tight ends and Daniel Bellinger, Thomas Fedone, Theo Johnson, and Chris Manhertz. I knew we were going to keep four tight ends, and Daniel Bellinger beat out a fan favorite, a fan preseason favorite, and Greg Dolchich. I do believe Daniel Bellinger allows him to be put at fullback in the H back position. I think that's what won him over, and Manhurst was going to make the squad because I know he's the best blocking tight end. So when you run those big formations and you're trying to do your power run game, you're going to want him at that tight end position to give you some blocking. Now our offensive linemen, Jermaine Illuminor, James Hudson, Marcus Bowe, Evan Neal, John Runyon Jr., Schlotman, John Michael Schmitz, Aaron Stinney, Andrew Thomas, Greg Van Rotten, and we put a Zudu on injured reserve. Now, the shocking release is Kubas. A lot of people will want Kubas in there besides Aaron Schlotman for sure. And we're gonna see what this offensive line, man, what they do. Is Andrew Thomas gonna be available for week one? That's still in the air. So James Hudson is probably gonna get that start. I love what I've seen out of Marcus Bowe. I think Marcus Bowe is a player, man. I think he's gonna be that swing tackle for us. That's gonna be very good. Eventually, start to get some starting tackle reps here. If Jermaine Illuminor decides to move on or Andrew Thomas gets hurt again, and Andrew Thomas' health, that's the main concern about this offensive line moving forward. What is Andrew Thomas' health? Now, our backups, our center position needs a lot of help. John Michael Schmitz has not been up to par, and I'm not sure what Schlotman is going to bring as a backup center. I'm just going to be honest with you. Evan Neal needs some work in pass protection. But Evan Neal was not as bad as people were trying to make it out to be this preseason. I think Evan Neal was pretty solid, man. He had some couple of mishaps out there, but he's learning the guard position. We'll see what he does. More than likely, he'll probably be gone after this season, unless he signs a team-friendly deal after this season. But we're going to have to get a lot more from the inside of our offensive line this year, or people like Cam Scatterbo, Tyrone Tracy are not going to be as good as they should be. But that's the offensive lineman, man. I like the offensive lineman. I would rather have Kubas than Schlotman, but it is what it is. DB. We kept 7 DBs, which I thought we were only going to keep 6 or maybe even 5. But we got Paulson Adebo, free agent prize this offseason. Deontay Banks, former first-round pick. Corey Black, 7th-round pick this year. Cordell Flott, 3rd-round pick about 3 years ago. Art Green, who showed up very good in the preseason. Nick Jones showed pretty good this preseason in camp. And Drew Phillips, who I think will be a star nickel corner in this league. He's one of our best corners, if not our best corner, coming out the slot, man. This DB position, man, they're gonna have to step up. They're gonna have to step up, man, in order for this pass rush to get to people this year for sure. Now, the safety position, we only kept 3: Dane Belton, Javon Holland, and Tyler Newman. I expect for them to add a veteran safety, so somebody like a Art Green may come off this roster and to allow that safety to get there. A lot of people don't want Dane Belton here, but he's a special teams ace, and he does get turnovers when he's in there, from what it's worth. Now, we only have 3 edge rushers: Brian Burns, Abdul Carter, and Kayvon Thibodeau, but you can add Chauncey Golston to that list as well. This is the power of our team. Our outside linebackers, Brian Burns, Abdul Carter, and Kayvon Thibodeau, are going to have to come through for us. Now, we kept 5 inside linebackers, and we kept Chris Bohr and Flanagan Fowles, who are primarily special teams. Michael McFadden, Bobby O, and Moal Sal. We're gonna have to hope that Michael McFadden and Moal Sal can, fill that second position, man, and make some tackles. But yeah, we have 5 inside linebackers. That's crazy. We got 6 defensive tackles, and Darius Alexander, 3rd-round pick. DJ Davidson has been healthy so far and flashed a little bit in the preseason. Chauncey Golston, coming from the Cowboys. The All-Pro, best defensive tackle in the league, and Dexter Lawrence. Nacho is still here, and Roy Robertson Harris, who I believe is the second best on this list. to be honest with you, to pair with Dexter Lawrence. And we're gonna need some help from people like Darius Alexander step up to give Dexter Lawrence a breather, because we know what Nacho is. DJ Davidson, hopefully he can stay healthy, but Chauncey Golston will be going between, the two position and the outside linebacker position. And Nacho, we just hope we can get something out of Nacho. But Roy Robertson Harris, man, look out for him, man. I think he's dope, man. I think he's gonna be a legit good player for us. So people like Ledbetter. The surprise here is Elijah Chapman was cut. A lot of people didn't like that. I didn't like that, but if you're basing it off him being a better fullback than a defensive tackle, you keep Bellinger because he gives you more of a passion option at that fullback position. So I understand that, but I would have loved to see Chapman make this roster. Elijah Garcia was cut. Riley was cut. So we'll see with those guys. And Graham Gano, Gillian, and Casey Crater is gonna fill out your special team. So I mean, that's the initial 53-man roster, man. To be honest with you, it's pretty much what I thought it would be, except for Elijah Chapman not making it and Turbo Miller not making it. But that's what the Giants do, man. They get rid of some people that they may should keep a lot of the time. So, but what do you guys think about this initial 53-man roster? What do you believe the Giants should do as far as making some trades? There's a couple of people out there that are on the Giants' radar, so this can change. But this is just the initial 53-man roster. My initial reaction is, it is what it is, man. It's pretty much what I thought it would be, and we're gonna go into the season with that 53, and let's see what we can do. I think we're very weak at the receiver position after Slayton. I think we're very weak in both interior on the offensive line and defensive line, and I just don't like Devin Singletary on this roster, man, because I just think it's nepotism with him and Brian Daboll. That's Brian Daboll's boy, but we'll see what he brings, man. But I want to see somebody to challenge Wan'Dale Robinson at the slot. Doesn't look like he won't get that this year, because I don't believe they'll put Gunner in there ahead of him. But yeah, it's a lot of things. Kubas being cut and Schlottman being kept. That's a little bit of a surprise. We only got 3 edge rushers, but they put Chauncey Golston as a defensive tackle, but he could go out there to edge rusher as well. So we pretty much got 4. But the depth of this team is going to be scary if some people go down, like Andrew Thomas or Malik Neighbors or Dexter Lawrence. One of those guys go down is going to get really, really scary out there. But this is the team that we're going to be watching going into this 2025 NFL season. Let's see what they can do. They play Washington the first week. A lot of people saying that we could beat Washington. I'm saying, hey, look, pump your brakes a little bit, but we'll see. But this has been New York Giants Full Access, man. Thank you guys for watching. Special episode, 53-man roster, initial roster reaction, and we'll see what they do, man. But tune in to the next New York Giants Full Access with your boy, man. Peace. Welcome to New York Giants Full Access.